I am stunned. It can't be true. Leroy is the healthiest man I know. He's never sick. A brain tumor? Impossible. The only time he's gone to the hospital is when he's visiting me or his mom. There must be some mistake. That was my reaction to hearing Leroy had a brain tumor. From the first words of his primary care physician that it doesn't look good, to the week after when we learned that it was inoperable and our life as we knew it had ended. Although my brain cried, no, it can't be true, it was true. And so began our journey from crisis to crisis and eventually death. Time was running out. Inside Leroy's head was a mass of wild cells that were taking control of his intelligent and wonderful brain. How could we get rid of them before it was too late? There must be a way. Surgery, chemo, radiation. There had to be a solution. These are the opening lines of a book written by Marlene Anderson about her personal experiences with her husband Leroy as he was dying of a brain tumor. To many, the words inoperable, terminal, brain tumor are hopeless. Today is the first Sunday in Advent. Advent is a time that we reflect on all that Christ has done for us. And Advent is a time to prepare our hearts to celebrate Christmas, which commemorates his arrival as a child. In order to assist us in that heart preparation, the church traditionally focuses on various aspects of what Christ has done and what he has accomplished through his life. Each week we will be focusing on love, joy, peace, and today, hope. Through his life and death, Jesus gives us hope. But what is hope? How can we have it? What good does it do us in the face of words like inoperable and terminal? What about people in seemingly hopeless situations? Well, the first question that we really need to answer is, what is hope? What do we mean when we use the term hope? Because we use it in all sorts of contexts. I came with the hopes of seeing you. Hope against hope. There's no hope. Or how about my personal favorite? Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my Omi. We throw this word around. And yet, do we really understand its meaning? I went to Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, and he defines it this way. Hope is, quote, a desire accompanied by an expectation of or belief in fulfillment. Hope has two parts. One is a desire for something, a want, an eager yearning for something. And two, the belief that that thing will happen, or will be given, or will be granted. So it's a desire along with the expectation that the desire will be fulfilled. It must have both these aspects to be hope. See, if hope is a desire for a thing and an expectation that it will happen as desired, then really anybody can have hope. I mean, think about it. Could any spouse hope that their spouse gets home from work safely? That means they want it to happen, and they believe it will happen. Any spouse can do that, regardless of their condition or their faith. Anyone can hope for a certain Christmas gift. They can want it and believe that they're going to get it. Well, whether they do or don't, that's another story. Anyone can hope to overcome a difficult situation. It's going to be hard, but we want to overcome it, and I think that if we stick together, we will. Anybody can have hope in this sense. There are also things that we cannot hope for. People cannot hope to become younger. They may desire to become younger, but remember the second aspect is belief that it's going to happen. So while somebody say, I really hope to get younger, they don't mean that they hope to be younger. They may mean that they hope to feel younger, or may hope to act younger, or may hope to be more youth-like, but they can't hope to actually become younger because in their mind and their heart they know that it's impossible, and so they can't expect it to come true, which is the second aspect of what hope is. So there are some things that anybody can hope for, there are some things that nobody can hope for, but there are some things that only certain people can hope for. There are things that not everybody can hope for, but just some people. For instance, only a married couple, only a married person can hope for their spouse to come home safely. Why? Because an unmarried person doesn't have a spouse, so how can they hope that their spouse gets home safely? It's impossible. Only people with children can hope that they turn out a certain way. Because if they don't have children, they can't hope for that. They can't believe it. Only people who buy the lottery ticket can hope to win, right? Isn't that what the advertisements tell us? You can't win if you don't buy it. But the chances of that are pretty slim. There are things that everyone can hope for. There are things that no one can hope for. There are things that some people can hope for. There are things that Christians can only hope for. The Bible tells us that there are certain things that only those who have faith in Christ can hope for. Some of these things are the personal return of Christ. You say, anybody can hope for that. But think about it. If somebody is desiring the return of Christ without having faith in Him, what they are desiring for themselves is judgment, condemnation, and eternal damnation. Tell me, anybody who hopes for that, anybody who wants that, somebody cannot truly hope for the return of Christ unless they are a follower of Christ. The Bible teaches that only Christians should and can hope for the resurrection of their bodies in a glorious new form. We are the only ones that have that hope, because the Bible assures us that we are the only ones who would be given a new body that will never become sick, never become weak, and never die. The Bible teaches that only Christians can have the hope of being restored to loved ones who have died in Christ, because it's only in heaven that people are reunited. You know, I've watched some movies, and the bad guy always points the gun at the other guy and says, I'll see you in, right? Do you know what I mean? But the truth is, they won't. They're probably going there. But hell is a very lonely place. Completely alone. You don't see loved ones in hell. You don't see enemies. You are alone. That's part of the reason that it's hell. So when they say that, I always have to think to myself, no, you won't. You won't see them anywhere. In fact, you're going to a place where you won't see anybody. Not even the person who's tormenting you. See, only Christians have the hope of being reunited with loved ones who have faith in Christ. The Bible teaches us that Christians are the only ones who can have true fellowship with other Christians. We can be friends with people who aren't Christians. We can be acquaintances and co-workers. We can even be family with people who aren't believers. But by fellowship, what we're saying is that Christians can have a true spiritual unity of both purpose and desire and will and aim of life. Only with other Christians can we be truly united in our minds and our spirits.